Muito boa noite a todos, novamente. Meu nome é Cláudio Gonçalves, bem-vindos a mais um Cast Talk. Hoje iremos ter um Cast Talk um bocado diferente, iremos ter a sessão em inglês. We're going to have our presenter that is Denis Kalapov, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Denis today will present how to understand that your SOC works effectively. So, Dennis, I will leave the floor with you. Just present yourself, and the floor is yours.
Sure. So first, let me introduce myself. Claudio, thanks. So I'm Denis Klapov, and I'm head of SOC department in CyberZero. And today, as already you know, probably we will discuss not SOC generally, but exactly how to measure that and how to understand that our SOC works effectively. And this presentation will take more or less 15 or maximum 20 minutes, so it will not be very long. And after, it would be great to discuss together with you what you think about this, what's your vision, because the topic is very debatable. And right now, we will actually understand why. And of course, we want this podcast to be as some kind of dialogue, between us and you. So maybe you can share your experience or some doubts or whatever. So let's begin. And first of all, let's define what SOC is. And actually, it's not so simple because, for example, one time in Angola, we made an audit in a company, and the security guy just told us that he will build his SOC based on FortiGate firewall. So just one person, only firewall, and he calls it as a SOC. So because of this, I decided just to define what really SOC is, how we can understand it. And usually, here what we meet in Angola, that people think that SOC is just a collection of some security tools. Some modern fancy security tools and the base is CM, of course. It's security information event management. And to buy CM and think that you already have SOC, it's like to buy a hammer and think that house will be built by its own. Of course, here on this slide, you can see that like generic approach of collaboration between some security tools. But is it SOC? Definitely not. But why? Let's take a look on the scheme which HP presented as their understanding of SOC framework. And here you can see that there are quite a lot of processes. And of course, SOC, it's not just the tools. It's first of all people and processes. And actually, it's even more important than just some fancy modern tools. And as you can see here, and it's actually very interesting, as a base, they consider business processes like metrics, compliance, process improvement, and so on. And exactly about metrics, which HP considers as one of the base thing, we will talk today. And what else we can consider as a SOC part? Of course, it's services, which will be provided by your SOC. And this collection of services, which I put here, is just a general, some generic amount of services. It can be more or less, depends on you need, and the most important depends on your goal, why you implement SOC in your company. So, today we will talk more about in-house SOC, but we will touch a bit MSSP. So MSSP, it's measured security service provider, and how to understand base service, what we provide, it's effective for your company or not. So, and here I very like this phrase: if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And it's 100% true. And Peter Drucker, so this guy can be wrong. So, but how we can measure the effectiveness of our SOC, and even more important, why we need to measure it. So let's imagine you are head of SOC, and your company, so like board of directors, provided you some budget to build it, and you need to prepare. First of all, you need to understand for yourself how your SOC is working. So probably you will ask your analysts or team leads about, okay, how this is going, what's our coverage, and so on. It's the first part of metrics. And of course, your bosses, the actually owners of a company or of the board, we will ask, okay, we provided you basically a lot of money because SOC it's not a cheap solution. What we received, how secure we become, so how we can measure it. And you can be perfectly effective. But if you can't explain why you're effective, if your management doesn't understand it, so it doesn't matter, basically. So we always, as a SOC managers, I would say, or who works with SOC, we need to measure our effectiveness and be able to provide these metrics to the people who invest in us. So, and the easiest way how to understand that we're effective and almost all measure this metric, it's amount of incidents. And here actually it's a very, very simple metric, but here we'll stop for a while. So first of all, here we are talking about incidents, not tickets. Because, you know, analysts always open these tickets that if they see some suspicious events or they receive alerts from security tools, they will open the ticket. But what we met in different companies that, you know, analysts, very people, and very smart people, actually. And if their bonuses, their KPIs depend on this metric, on how many tickets they close, they start to open more tickets, even knowing that it's just false positive. They open the ticket, just do some analysis and close it straight away. Ticket was closed, good, KPI is growing, perfect. So, and this is why usually SOCs don't count opened and closed tickets, but it can be counted, but you know, not as a primary metric of effectiveness, definitely. And the second thing I wanted to discuss here, we met sometimes, you know, the idea of business, how we analyze this metric. Okay, before we had 100 incidents, and we had the team of which consists of 10 people, for example. Right now, SOC decreased this amount of incidents we have, and right now it's, for example, 40 incidents. Let's shrink the team. let's decrease the amount of team, let's fire some people, so we will keep the budget and we can just spend it more effectively, you know? And how the leader of SOC can prove that it's not a good idea. So, and first of all, here we need to understand that SOC analysts, we do not just simply always monitor alerts. For example, if we don't have alerts, as our SOC works actually, we help IT department of our client to find, for example, misconfigurations. So if we're talking about S3 processing attack, so there is no need to wait until this attack will occur. We can just, in our SOC, like analyze the changing of accounts in Active Directory, and if we see that pre-authentication was disabled, we can report it. We can open a ticket and tell, okay, we see here misconfiguration, so let's close it. The same, for example, just very simple task which you can do is to monitor of implementing new machines to your domain and check do that machines have antivirus, because administrators, they are people, so we can do mistakes. It's normal, and sometimes it's possible that we find some machines which do not have antivirus, just new installed machines, and we can show it and improve it like straight on. Or for example, we can check our external perimeter, and if we see, and actually, yeah, we have some kind of threat intelligence. So and if we see that new important critical vulnerability published, and we have this platform of on our external perimeter, we can tell about this straight on. We don't need to wait until you know, these SLAs of vulnerability patching, so 30 days or 90 days, whatever. So hackers will not will not follow your SLA. We will not wait 30 days or 90 days until they start to attack. So, and this is why we need to be proactive, you know. And there are a lot of different tasks which you can do even if you don't have currently incidents or attacks. You can cover, like, develop use cases, for example, to cover more techniques in Mitre matrix. You can improve your playbook, so there are a lot of things to do. Let's go to the next one. And what we see here, and actually it's very popular in Angola as well, that some guys can measure their effectiveness and how good their SOC is by these color teams, you know, like blue team, purple team, and red team. And actually, I would not recommend to do this. So first of all, let's define what it is. Blue team, it's our analysts in SOC, the guys who sit and monitor all events or alerts or some suspicious activity and do triage and investigation. Purple team, it's a bit different. These guys know how to attack and how to protect. So by protection, I mean developing of use cases. So we can help blue team to optimize the use cases. By use cases, we mean correlation rules, how to define basically by a lot of events, how to define its attack or not. So for your correlation engine, for your CM. And actually red team, it's very tricky. So red team, since the beginning of implementation of SOC, I would say it's definitely not must have. And here, especially in Angola, it's you need to understand that it's quite difficult to find a real red teamer. Why? Because we had quite a number of interviews with pen testers, and usually all the pen testers here, they consider themselves as red teamers. And if you ask them what's the difference between red team and pen test, they will not answer you, you know. And why you really need a red team? When you have very mature, very good prepared SOC, you can, for example, hire a teamer or buy a service of a team to see how resilient you are. Because teamers, it's like they emulate not even usual hacker activities, because Purple Team can do this. They emulate mostly APT, Advanced Persistent Threat, so APT groups. We can do long-term attacks. We know how to do evasion of defense measures. We know how to do physical intrusions. For example, to break some lock and enter some facility and there connect to internal network and start to do some malicious activities. Or social engineering attacks, all these kind of things. And do we need it in usual SOC? I would say no. So, and even if you want to try this, you can always buy this service. So, and can we consider it as a measure of effectiveness of our SOC? No, I would say no. What, for example, Splunk suggests us to calculate as metrics? It's actually a very common approach. And if you open any SANS report, there is annual SANS report about SOC, they consider these metrics for SOC as well. So it's quite common thing. And it's mean time to detect, mean time to investigate, or mean time to response or to contain, whatever. So it's like some kind of life cycle of attack. So, and if we calculate these metrics, how fast we can detect an attack, how fast we can respond, and how fast, for example, we can contain. So it's already something, it's already interesting. And starts from, for example, MTRS, mean time to restore service. It's already more business metric. Why? Because for product owner or for service owner, it will be more interesting to know if we have an attack or if we have an incident, how fast we can continue our business operations. You know, and these metrics you already can use to show to management. So it will be already interesting. Or for example, cost of incident as well. Everything that you can transfer to money or calculate as money, it will be interesting to management. Everything else, it's already, you know, so-so. Because for example, mean time to detect, yeah, that's cool. If you have, I don't know, some hours for this as a metric, and you will tell it to board, we will say, okay, fine, and what? So how we can understand it's good, it's bad. So we can't understand it even. So, but these metrics we can already use. What's next? We can use and calculate maturity level of our SOC. And there is a very common framework for this. It's SOC CMM, capability and maturity model. It's actually open framework, and all the materials are open in internet. You can download it and use. So here it's already interesting, but you know, from my practice, not so many companies use it exactly on its purpose, you know, to define the maturity level. Because usually companies consider as maturity level they roadmap. Because for example, when business invests in SOC and you start to implement SOC in your company, you have this roadmap, and it's definitely not for 1 year roadmap, you know. it starts from 3 or 5 years. And you can consider your maturity depending on how many steps you did according to this roadmap. So it's understandable. It's very easy to show to management because they approved it already. But also you can use this maturity model. So why not? This you can use. But what we can take from this framework, it's a list of different metrics. And here I put as an example on left table, you can see some metrics but related to HR. So RH in Portuguese. So why I put exactly these metrics here? Because usually when we are talking about SOC and when we did an audit of different SOCs in different countries before, we have this experience. Usually people don't think about HR at all, but it's actually a mistake. Why? Because it's not so simple to find all these people, for example, for your SOC. Why? Because let's take an Angola as an example. How far ago SOCs start to appear here? Not so far ago, right? So, and we don't have enough specialists which universities can provide to us. And we need to do a lot of different interviews to find appropriate person for a role of SOC analyst. And it's a problem. It's not so easy to close all these vacancies we have. So, and even more, because maybe you know that to work as an analyst in SOC, it's like the position which usually considers as burnout position, you know, and people can't work with dashboards and all these investigations and alerts all the time, over again, because they start to burn out. And we need to work with HR management to define this and, for example, to change positions of some employees, or, for example, to send a person to a vacation for some period of time for him to relax a bit and return to do his job. So all these things have to be measured. And for example, on the right side, I took it from a SANS report, annual report, and what's the most important technical skill deficit when you hire staff? You can imagine, but it's very strange, but on the first position, people put information system and network security, just the basic thing. And even this knowledge, difficult to find on the market. So here, when we talk about SOC, it's definitely not only, you know, technical things. We need to think about a lot of different aspects. And as some metrics, we can take, for example, some evaluation of our HR process as well. So we need to work with HR quite close if we want to our analysts and other employees to work good. What else? Here I put also some, you know, interesting and tricky metrics. So, for example, I didn't meet this company, but I read about this. One company calculated the cost of their data in darknet as a metric. Why? Because you know, so in darknet you can find some accounts or data leaked, and the price will depend on efforts hackers spend to receive this information. And the higher price basically will mean that it was quite difficult to take this info. And this company absolutely serious, consider it as a metric for SOC effectiveness. So why not? Maybe you can use it as well. After some basic things like the ratio of losses incurred and losses, prevented. So it's already more, we can consider it more as a business metric, and you can show it to management. Or, for example, number of negative mentions in media. Why not? So if you didn't have during the year any negative mentions, it means that your reputation as a company didn't suffer. So was it an achievement of your SOC? Definitely, yes, of course. And you can calculate it and you can check it and provide to your management as a metric of your effectiveness. Or for example, it's more technical already, and use playbooks or use cases. It's a tricky thing as well, because, for example, when we did some audits on some SOCs here in Angola, we saw like when somebody implements CM solution, we use all these use cases, all these correlation rules from the box, and we receive a lot of false positive alerts. And it's very difficult to work because, for example, in this company, we did penetration testing, and guys detected us. But they detected us after 3 years, 3 days we started. So guys were good. Yeah, it's better to detect than not to detect, of course. It's great, but 3 days, it's too long. So, of course, it's inappropriate in the current reality, and you need to improve this this indicator. But why it was so long? Because we had a lot of false positive alerts, because we implemented all the use cases we received with CM. So do we need all of this? No, definitely not. So, and you need to analyze what you use, why you use it, and how you can optimize it. So it's actually basically our routine. We do this all the days here in our SOC. And last two, it's a number of features or tools you really use. And this is actually another tricky thing, that because right now people like all these fancy things, you know, like deceptions, like honeypots, honey token, threat intelligence, all this red teaming, for example, or machine learning or artificial intelligence. They want all these things simultaneously, and they do not realize even that if they use some tool, the tool can have, for example, a lot of different features, and we use just a piece of them, and we will buy and pay more and more for licenses. But why? Maybe you need to stop and already analyze what you already have, and maybe you don't need our tools or our services. Maybe you already have everything you need. You just need to invest more time and efforts to make it working, you know. And the number of failures of automation tools, actually a very interesting thing as well. And here I would add also, actually I forgot to put it to the slide, I would add the coverage of your CM. But yeah, basically of your CM, of your SOC, and the availability of tools used in SOC, because sometimes some platforms can just go down. So, and you need to monitor it, even this, and try to keep resilience of your monitoring and correlation platforms. So it's important as well. And the last thing I want to cover So maybe we spent, already a lot of time, I know, Claudio. So just last slide and we will finish. It's how to define effectiveness of MSSP before you sign the contract. So, and here, I prepared just one slide, how we can define since the beginning that MSSP SOC will be effective for our company. And first of all, of course, it's reviews of our customers, of our clients you can receive. For example, if you know that this MSSP provides service to your colleagues, so just simply ask them, are they satisfied or not? The second thing is a bit more interesting. It's MSSP has in their plans any meetings with business units. Why do we need it? Because we need it after for classification of alerts. So just imagine if you receive an alert on a server in a quality environment, and you receive an alert, the same alert, but in a payment application. So you can you need to understand what's more say what has more priority for you to investigate firstly. So for this, for example, we as MSSP, we always begin, but we have quite good audit background, I would say, but anyway, we always begin from talking with business. Okay, tell us what you consider as the most risks for your company. Which applications or services you can consider as most critical or mission critical for your company. So it's very important. And it can be as a flag for your final decision. The next thing, it's some numbers like we have 15 minutes for mean time to response, for example. Here you need to understand that, of course, it's bullshit. And it's impossible to reach these numbers, even in worldwide SOCs like Kaspersky. So it's like completely impossible. For example, I think as far as I remember, CrowdStrike published their reports like for normal mean time to response on incident, it's several days. It's not minutes, it's not even hours, it's several days. So this is already, you know, it seems like reality. So if you see two, how to say, numbers like, which look like marketing, here we need to think about this twice. The next thing, when MSP starts to suggest reteam service straight on. For me, it's very strange, but it depends on situation, of course. If MSSP thinks they can, for 1 or 2 or 3 months, implement SOC in your organization, in your company, and it will be like bulletproof SOC, you can try. But for me, it would look quite strange, honestly, because I'm a bit. I'm skeptic about the red team services generally. The next thing is specialists have or do not have appropriate certificates. It's not like 100% metric for you, but anyway, it's a thing to consider for sure. So, for example, if guys have a red team specialists in their team, but these specialists don't have even OSCP certificate, come on, it's strange. So next one, MSP doesn't want to implement any metrics. This is already strange because, for example, we have quite number of metrics which we provide monthly to our client. And of course, we consider it as a very important part of our job. We need to show how effective or not effective we were last month. And our clients, of course, we need to know about this. So, and these things you can discuss before signing the contract. Next one, it's when MSSP doesn't use any SameDB or knowledge base since the beginning. It's so-so, but anyway, it would be strange because, for example, let's just imagine they received an alert, we see some host names or IPs, and we just don't know where this IP came from. It's agency, it's headquarter, it's quality environment, it's production environment, it's workstation, it's server. So for this, usually MSSP, and it's common practice, they do the knowledge base or CMDB, whatever, how you prefer. No, sorry. And yeah, the last one, when MSSP doesn't want to do some routine tasks. We discussed previously what I was talking about, misconfigurations, revealing misconfigurations or some security problems. Because usually they concentrate only on alerting and investigation. So, but maybe we can help you or your IT team to improve your infrastructure. So it's anyway things to discuss. So these things, at least, I would discuss with MSSP before signing the contract, so it can matter for your organization in the future. So, and basically that's all. So I think you have a lot of questions or comments, or maybe you are not agree with some things I said previously. So Claudio, please.
Dennis, thank you. I have put some questions here in the pool, but first, amazing. For instance, we live that every day, but I never thought about it involving HR. For instance, that's it's a different approach, and I like it. You have put it that. I don't know if many agree with me. I have some polls. People are still replying, what type of SOC does your organization use? How many analysts in your SOC? What is your SOC average response time to critical incident? Adalbert is asking you to repeat the last slide, but what is your biggest barrier to faster incident response? Which service applications do you consider most critical for your company? So people are replying for this. I think that we can have it at the end, some response for that. We also
just
have
choose any question which you consider most interesting, and let's begin.
Let's go. Something. But before we repeat the last slide, Adalbert, just Elio.
You can see it, right? Last slide I already.
Yes, we can see it. Elio is asking, what will be the first reaction on SOC after that an unprotected machine is discovered?
After what? Sorry.
After an unprotected machine is discovered.
So first of all, you can open the ticket as a SOC. IT department, and most probably you will already have some SLA between your SOC, and actually it's a good idea to establish SLA between your SOC and IT. And depends on the criticality of the tickets, we will react. So, and of course, antivirus or some EDR or XDR or whatever you use. So, of course, it's very important, and we need to fix it straight on.
Okay.
So usually we push to fix it the same day.
It's only me. Let me know if anyone can hear me.
Yes, I can. Can hear you perfectly well.
Hello.
Yes.
We can hear. Loud and clear.
Okay, I don't know if it was my machine that was blocked or only Danish, but for my side, it seems that there was some. We have a lot of questions, and so I don't know if okay. Let's start with the people that have the hands raised. But Adalbert, let me first try to. Do you have any specific question to Dennis about the last slide, or you want Dennis to review all that?
Yes, and as I already said, if you're interested in this, please text after Claudio, and I will provide him all the materials. So
yeah, he will provide, and we again we are recording the session. So, but okay, let's go to hands raised. Let's see who is the first person. Sorry, I thought that there was some people here with hands raised. Okay. I think Mario, Giovanni, some of you have your hand raised. Okay. So let's go to the questions. We have some. Okay, Helio asked, that machine will not be blocked. Again, about the first question.
So look, it depends on your SOC model. So if you are MDR, for example, managed detect and response. So in this case, you have an ability to block it. But for example, in our case, and as usual SOC, how it usually works, you will not have ability or permissions to block it. So I can't imagine that analyst in SOC can be domain administrator. So of course we need to aware IT department about this and wait for their actions. So our main goal is to detect and and start things going, to pushing things. So
okay. We have some questions from João Curso. What are the biggest challenges that that SOC team faces? Alert fatigue, dealing with false positives.
False positives, I would say not false positives, because in our case it's a bit different. So we didn't buy any ready solution. It was like our idea since the beginning, and we use Elasticsearch, and we prepared and developed all the use cases. We use our own. Why?
Okay.
Because we have very good experience in pen tests, and we have like a very solid red teamer in our in our team, and he helps us to build to develop all these use cases. We have a lab with the same like CM solution, and we always try to attack and define how we can detect it. So for example, if you use in-packet tools in Kali to attack Active Directory, you need to just see how you can detect each how to say script from in-packet. So and in our case, false positives, it's not a problem. But the problem, I would say, use cases it's all sorry, because we want to cover more meter matrix, and the second is playbooks.
Okay. How does the SOC deals with zero-day vulnerabilities? From your experience, how should we deal with this?
Depends on your maturity level.
Okay.
So, and of course, how to say, 0 days, it's not the biggest problem you can have, because take any security reports from Cisco Talos, from Checkpoint, from Kaspersky. and check what's the main issue, what's the main vulnerabilities or security problems. And you will find that it's still weak passwords. So still, after all these years, after all these efforts for security awareness, it's still weak passwords. And if you can at least check your external perimeter for the known vulnerabilities, so you will be at least better protected than ours. And here, one more thing, sorry, Claudio, but one last thing. Here you need to understand that you are not alone against hackers. So, and it maybe it can be too rough, but if you and another person, you run from a lion, you don't need to run faster than lion. You need to run faster than there's another person. You know?
Another person, yeah.
So yeah, usually it's a if it's not APT group, usual attackers they will just find the weakest victim and will work with them. So here, of course, it's a problem, but it's not the biggest and not the serious, definitely problem you can meet.
Okay. We are today full house. What is the best way to deal with false positives? How do we ensure that valuable time from diverse IT members do not get wasted?
I didn't understand how.
Okay.
Can you please? Where is it?
What is the best way to deal with false positives?
Let's start from this. The best way is just have your own lab and just try to optimize the rule. So, for example, if you have this rule from a box, like from let's take Curator, right, or Curadar, whatever how you call it. So just understand how this rule works. Just define it like step by step. And for example, you can use this rule in your lab and try to do attacks and see it will work, it will not work, it will define the attack, or you will receive a lot of false positive alerts and optimize it. So only just practice.
Okay. How do we ensure that valuable time from diverse IT members do not get wasted?
Do not get waste. So here you can, now, for example, like we do, we prepared, daily and weekly routine. Okay. So for example, we have a list of tasks. We define it. We like make instructions for this. And for example, if we do not have any alerts in our monitoring solution, we can do these routine tests. As I said, to help IT to find some misconfigurations. And believe me, there are a lot. If you have a big infrastructure, there are always things to do. So, and you as a monitor, when you, analyst, you will have an access to a lot of different logs. You can find a lot of things to do there, just to find some misconfigurations.
Okay. Next question, Elvis. How frequently do you make your SOC tabletop exercise? So they can even a different.
Yeah, very good question.
On how to prioritize the response and how to recover from the variety type of attacks.
So look, I would say it would be great to do some attacks monthly. It doesn't mean that you will do all the attacks possible, but you can prepare a plan and, for example, define, okay, this month we will use some collectors of information about Active Directory. For example, Bloodhound, Sharphound, Pin Castle, InPacket, whatever. So, and this month we will concentrate on tools against collecting information about Active Directory and see how our SOC reacts. So, great, why not? Next month we can check some network attacks. Next month we can check Wi-Fi, for example. So, but it should be periodically for sure. So this is why we need purple team. And this is why I told that red team, it's also, it depends on your maturity level and so far, but purple team and blue team, it's like must have. And at least one good pen tester who knows not about just that you can run this script and receive this result, but who knows how this tool works on infrastructure, how it works under the hood. So it's very good to have this person, and he helps a lot.
Okay. Another question. Considering that SOC as a service is a new concept to the Angolan market, in your experience, what is your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is to make believing in our SOC. So because business and actually I can understand them were quite skeptics about MSSP providers in Angola, because it's new service, and these SOCs usually don't have a lot of experience previously. And to convince them that you have good service, and at least to try, at least to have a pilot for several months and try and see results.
Okay. In the Angolan market, do you think it's a great return of investment to develop your own SOC or use risk transfer?
Very good question, and it's definitely not for 10 minutes. So for this, we can do a separated podcast, because will be a lot of different opinions. Look, it depends on your company, it depends on your budget and your team. Because SOC, in-house SOC, it's definitely not cheap.
Okay.
And like, for example, we had one pre-sale and we compared three prices. We compared price for MSSP SOC, we compared the price for in-house SOC and hybrid SOC. And of course, and you can read any articles from Europe or States or whatever from Asia, MSSP SOC, it's the cheapest one and the fastest to implement. And for example, you can buy this service just at least to understand, do you really need SOC or not? Maybe you don't need SOC, who knows? Because not each company must build their own SOC. So why? Maybe you will use MDR and you will define that it's enough for you. So, but at least if you use service, you don't have this OpEx, spendings. So you do not buy servers, you do not buy some different equipment, dedicate room for this, buy all these TVs and hire a lot of people. Yeah. So, and if in 3 months or 6 months or whatever, you will decide that, okay, I don't need the SOC, you will need to fire all these people. You need to sell these servers on the market or use this for our services or whatever. So definitely, I would suggest to start from MSSP. And after, if you define that, okay, we want our own SOC, we are ready, we receive enough experience, you can build your own.
Okay. We have Elvis with the hand raised. Elvis? Don't be shy.
My microphone was off. Sorry. One of the questions that I wanted to ask, and I already write it on the chat, is that do you think one of the big problems on the big companies in Angola is not implementing security awareness programs? Because there is a big problem with the companies just making risk transfers, and they think that make risk transfers avoid them from social engineering attacks. They don't train their persons, their workers. What do you think, that the big companies should implement this program or not?
Look,
If you allow me,
sure,
first
sure, of course.
questions. One question to Elvis: how do you define big company in terms of number of persons, employees, or revenue?
No. In terms of a number of employees.
Okay.
Number of employees.
Because it's very important to sometimes to distinguish these two. Sometimes we are talking about number of employees, not in revenue properly.
Yeah. I agree with you. And
So
one
it's
thing I
important.
want to say,
Sometimes it's important to separate those three things. So you are talking about a big number of employees, correct?
yeah. And one thing that I wanted to say to Dennis, it's our biggest problems as cybersecurity workers is that people don't have upgrades. They are the biggest weaknesses on our companies.
All the time.
And I agree. So, Elvish, look, it even doesn't depend on the company size. Security awareness programs must be established. It's not a question you need it or you don't need it. It must be anyway. Why? Because you're completely right that people, it's the weakest point in our infrastructures in our companies. And just you can read again, you can read any reports from Cisco Talos or whatever. So we will show you that I think the most effective way how you can invade in any infrastructure, it's social engineering attack.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here in Angola, we see it a lot because we participate in incident response quite often, and we can see that phishing and social engineering attacks, it's nearby. It is, and it will be all the time. So we need to establish right awareness program anyway.
Okay.
It's very important.
Rosalia Rodriguez had some comments. Very nice presentation, Dennis. It is clear that due to the lack of skills available, the MSSCP model is probably a good option for the majority of Angolan companies. Also, the cost control is important, as it is any other country in the world. This is the great area for expertise to invest as a professional career. Congratulations. Okay, but let's see.
Thank you, Rosalia.
How many questions do we have? We have several persons here. This is the time that I will start asking directly some people to spoke. Adalberto, you asked for Danish to repeat the last slide. Do you have any specific questions to Danish, Adalberto? Silent. I don't think if I miss any question here. Manuel also raised hand, but I think that the question was already answered. Manuel, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you, and good evening, everybody. Then I have a question pertaining to the tools that I use in SOC, right? I would like to know what are the SIEM or other tools that I use that are easier to integrate within the SOC environment for efficient monitoring or the response.
So look, first of all, of course, you need to integrate your SOC with EDR solution. It's very important because EDR covers all the workstations and all the servers. The second place, I would say, it's network. So it's firewall or IDS or IPS, whatever, or next generation firewall, and combination of all these tools, whatever you use. So at least it will give you, I forgot, sorry, Active Directory. Active Directory is the must.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very important. And at least with these three, you can begin. And after, you can cover the rest of infrastructure. For example, if your IT team experience problems with backup solutions, you can provide this service to them. You can take logs from backup solutions and monitor it. And if you see any errors, any warnings or whatever, you can investigate it with them. So why not? You can provide such service with DNS, with SCCM, for example, or other infrastructure services. So just, but anyway, you need to start from EDR, Active Directory, and the firewall, and IDS. Yeah, this four must be for sure.
Okay, thank you. And in that case, I'm assuming that we would like to draw or draft some sort of inventory of all IT assets within the company, right?
That's definitely correct. Yeah, of course. As I said, and you can see actually in this slide that not only MSSP but and in-house SOC must follow by SMDB or knowledge base. Because, for example, if during the night shift, your analyst receives an alert and they see, for example, some IP address or some machine, and for example, he's new, how he will understand where it's from? So he will start to call, okay, I need to call the responsible guy to ask how I can receive an access, or who I can ask, or which system it belongs, or who is owner of this service, of this or this server. So no, it's too long. So of course he need to use knowledge base and see, okay, this machine is from this system, and it's for example medium criticality, and it's some internal corporate application. So, and depends on this, I need to react like that, or I can take information about this more in this system. So, and of course, knowledge base is very important, and it will keep a lot of time for you. Will save a lot of time for you.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Manuel. Any questions?
Thanks for the questions.
Further questions, comments, comments, anything that you want to share with us? Please don't be shy. We are here. Let me just check for the pool. Okay. Elvis, again, please.
Yeah, Dennis, I wanted
Yes,
to
yes.
know in the incident response process that you may do sometimes, and the part of containment, what is the major, the priority that we have to take it in count so we can give the best containment for the incident?
So look, first of all, it's triage. So when you collect all the information about the incident and make your decisions based on this information you collected, and after depends on criticality of the incident. So based on triage and based on criticality of the asset from which you received the alert, you can already define how fast you need to react, who you need to involve to this reaction, and how actually critical and big it is. So it's like usual kill chain or pipeline, whatever. So
yeah, thank you for the response. And another question that I wanted to ask is, as a cybersecurity consultant, I sometimes pair with some situations that I get to a company and they don't even know how to tell me what is the critical infrastructure of the business. And sometimes for me to implement the business continuity plan or the disaster recovery plan get like a little bit messy. I have to run how could I say, to run a discovery asset discovery, so I can know what is in their network and then determine what is the important things that they have inside their on premises.
So and you're asking how to make it easier?
Yeah, of course. How to determine what is the first thing that I have to do before I have like to do the asset discovery, because I sometimes get to the company and the IT personnel there is more lost than me, that I am just coming to yeah, and I ask them what is the server that is running your application, and he doesn't know how to respond me. How can I make it a very dynamic person or process or make it easier for me to work?
So first of all, of course, you need to talk with business units. So without this, you will never understand. IT is not the owner of some services or some systems. It's always business, and you need to actually to try to meet with them and at least for 30-40 minutes to ask, okay, what you consider as a most critical for your company from information, from automation point of view, without which system your company can survive and for how long. For example, if we will lose this system for 15 minutes, you will survive. If we lost this service for 2 days, you will survive or not. So asking questions like this, but it's always business units.
Okay, thank you so much.
Actually, that was one of my comments was about that. I was about to ask you, Elvis, why you are defining what is critical for the business. Should be business telling you that, never IT. And sometimes what we found in many organizations, many companies, is that many people think that IT should provide that kind of information. Never should be IT. But the business, the reason why you need to engage with the business. Some of the pools that one of the questions in the pool that have put actually is related to that. Which service applications do you consider most critical for your company? And one thing is your point of view, depending on your background as a technician. But like Dennis said, it's not about what you think. You think that the emails are most important, but the business think that is the application is the print server, for instance, because depending on the industry that you work in. And many times that will be the print server. It will not be the email or Active Directory or any identity management service. So should be the business telling you what is important. There is a lot of process to define that and asking that to the business, not to IT. Adalberto. finally, do you want to speak? Adalberto? You raise your hand.
I'm in some place with some noise. Just 1 minute.
Sorry to get in the conversation again without the previous asking. Yeah,
Please,
what I wanted to say is because I have deal with some situations where I have to do a big like asset discovery inside a company, and maybe sometimes they don't know where properly what is the how can I say the IPs that they are using. They just say like, oh, this is important, this is important. They properly don't have a like a network documentation of their infrastructure. That's one of my main problems, why they don't provide like a documentation.
So in this case, as an audit, you can help them, or consultant, you can help them to develop it. So, and we met, these problems as well. So it's quite often, not only in Angola, actually, it happens all the time. And we help to develop it. Why not? Actually, usually business asks for audit exactly because we don't know how things are going inside the company. So this is the first goal and the first target of audit team, to explain the business, to like make things visible, you know. So suggest it as a additional service for your customers. So okay, fine. I will build it together with you or instead of you.
Okay, thank you.
There is, of course, there is a lot, but from NIST, there is the criticality analysis process model. I sent the link here. This is, you can start from there, starting working on that. Yeah, but because there is a lot of companies that they don't have it. That again, it's a lot of services, and it's probably, but it's not that easy. So I think that there is a very more there are more fun things to do than do that kind of analysis. But it's only me. Usually, business analysts, company should have at least the role of the business analyst to support that. It helps a lot. Adalbert, we are still waiting for you. Elvis, do you? I think that you will be moderated today. So Elvis, go on.
I'm sorry, I'm just excited. It's my first time seeing Dennis Klapov. I follow him on LinkedIn, so I want to take all that I can from him.
Sure, shoot.
Yeah, Dennis, another question that I wanted to know is at what time of the process of the incident response you think we should come out of the framework that we are following or the run book that we are following and implement a personalized response to the moment?
Look, quite difficult question. First of all, the exact time, it depends on the incident. And usually, you know, if you work as a big MSSP, like for example Kaspersky, and I saw their presentation, they calculate a lot of different time metrics. But why? Because we have a lot of different attacks simultaneously in a lot of countries, and we have this statistic. But for example, as a usual in cloud SOC, you will not have like several attacks each day. And for you, this indicator will mostly depend on like difficulty of the or complexity of the attack. And here also answering the question, to put personal responsibility, no, definitely not. And I do not put personal responsibility in our SOC because we're the team. And for example, if we spend more time for reaction, for example, for any incident, after we have this process of post-incident analysis, and we try to define, okay, what we can do better next time. But we never blame the person, okay, it was your fault, this was because of you. No, never like this, and it's definitely not a good practice. So you have to you must have this post-incident analysis and just define, okay, maybe this I can automate. Maybe here I need to change my playbook so analysts can do this a bit faster or better. Here we need, for example, do additional lecture about some technology. So, and for example, all the time we have different lectures and different workshops in our company. So it's like usual process. So no, personal responsibility definitely not. And exact time, as I said, it depends on the incident. So it's quite difficult to say so exact pattern for this. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. My mouse was running out of stuff.
No.
Okay, we still have another person here that I would like to see if they will interact with us. Mario, Nelson. Usually they have a lot of questions. They are very quiet today.
Claudio Barbosa as well.
Yes, I was about to say that. Usually they have a lot of questions, but they are very quiet today. Not sure why.
Sorry. It's a good topic it's bringing, and I'm just having an issue with my I had interview. Had our site went down, so that's why I was quiet. I do apologize. But thanks, Dennis, sharing very good topics from my end. You covered everything, especially here in UK. We come across with a lot of issues, as the other guy mentioned, Helvis, and you cover everything. So I'm quite pleased with being part of this presentation today. Do apologize, I don't have any questions at the moment, but I will in a second. Just give me a minute.
Sure, you're always welcome. Thank you a lot, Claudio.
Okay,
thank you.
Roberto, it's your time. Sorry, I have to mute you. Can you it's your time. Yes, Roberto.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to ask him then if previously he had some challenge to put some sort SOC to work for endpoint. If especially in Angola, if they face this kind of challenge, if they already face this kind of challenge, we're here, and for that, what the main question they find out. I listen when Dennis talking about the IP, when the guy from the network, they don't have the IPs and things like that, documentation for the networks. And I would like to know if they face more challenge, if they already put some implement. Yeah, can you say that?
Robert, sorry, we are missing some parts of your speech. It's a little bit hard to understand. Can you write down the question so we can see if we can answer it? I think it's better. Meanwhile, Dennis, do you provide any kind of training for SOC specialists?
Yeah, sure. And right now we're running exactly training for SOC specialists. So yes, we have training for forensic analysts and for SOC analysts as well. So
Sorry.
yes, I said that we have training.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes,
sorry
Claudio.
for that.
I said that we have trainings for SOC analysts and for forensic analysts as well.
Okay.
So
okay. Good.
yes,
Good.
we provide it.
That's good. I think that yeah, I would like to see just thumbs ups if probably there is a lot of people that want to have it. Because I think that
Quick question to sorry, Claudio. A
Go on,
quick
go
question.
on.
This is not for Dennis.
Mhm.
What's the main constraint is happening in Angola? What's the lack in terms of the SOC area? Because what exactly is the biggest challenge in the SOC team Angola is facing? So so we can try to highlight or probably spend a lot of good energy trying to uplifting those areas. From your guys' experience, most of you guys are based in Angola, and this is a very good coverage. And so I'd like to know what are the areas or the biggest challenge you guys are facing. If I know Elvis explained quite well, and he went through detailed his experience and his daily basis issues. So I want to hear from the team, so I can, and then I'll ask a question to Dennis based on your answers.
Okay, sure, Claudio. Thanks for your question. And we actually discussed it not so far ago between us, and we conclude that the main problem right now is that we have enough specialists in Angola in cybersecurity. Because right now things are going fast here in terms of digitalization. And as you know, there are a lot of digital services around right now, but universities cannot provide right now this high level of specialists exactly ready for the job. And unfortunately, when we have interviews and we do a lot for different positions, we see that there is some problems in the base, in some basic knowledge things. That even people were full of energy, and they really want to know, and they really want to learn, but these basic things which should university provide, it's unfortunately right now it's very weak and not enough. So I would say, answering the question, I would say specialists. This the main constraint on the market right now.
Elvis, you can just speak.
Sorry.
No, sorry, my kids are screaming at the back, so that's why
Dennis just said that our main problem in Angola is the missing of the SOC specialist. Dennis,
Not only SOC. Sorry, Elvish, for interrupting, but not only SOC. I was talking about cybersecurity specialists.
Okay. But my main point is, like, for us to have like specialists, we have to start in a certain point, because not all of us are born like specials or specialists already. And what I wanted to know is, like, if you give the opportunity for the person to grow inside your team, is like my main question just here.
Yes, we give this opportunity, and from two different perspectives. First one, for example, we provide such service for our customers. So, for example, we can hire new people and send us for internship. And here we have like the roadmap of preparing specialists for different directions. As a penetration tester, forensic analyst, SOC analyst, auditor, compliance manager, and so on. And we have each day like lectures and exams and some labs and tests and so on. It's the first direction. The second one, from time to time, we try to do open webinars and open lectures. So not so far ago, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, our CTO, Tatiana, and Jaime, they provided a webinar about L1 and L2 analysts in SOC, 2 hours webinars. And we want to keep this practice, and we want to do more like open webinars like that. And as I know, quite soon we will do open webinar for forensic investigations as well. So yes, we try to put our small effort. I understand on the market level it's very small, but at least maybe for some people it will be useful.
Okay, thank you.
Dennis, based on that, let me ask you this. Let's say in 5-10 years, and based on the data that you have today, companies, attacks, whatever, all the information that you have, how many cybersecurity specialists do you think that we will need in 5-10 years?
So look, I think it's my prediction, my estimation, but I think it will at least double for next 5 years.
Double of what? Sorry, double of what?
Double of what we have right now, what we have in our clients, and even in what we have in our team. So even for our team right now, it's not enough to cover all our customer needs. So, and what we see in our customers right now, this interview process and the vacancies we have, we do not even close vacancies like we do. For example, this process it goes all the time, and for example, in one of our client, 2 years ago, there were only 3 people in the department. Right now, it's already 6, and 3 new guys are here in internship in our company. So it will be 9. So you can imagine how it grew. So just 3 or 4 years ago, we were only 3 people in the department.
Yeah. What? So also based a little bit on what we have, you have mentioned about the universities and all that. You, as a specialist, do you plan to provide any kind of course or training or subject in any university here in Angola?
Very good question. Yeah, we want. Right now, the main constraint for us it's language. So not all of us speak very good in Portuguese, unfortunately. So, but anyway, we want to do this. Yeah, it's one of our goal, and we want to provide it. So I think on a midterm perspective, we will do this.
Yeah, because you mentioned several times here about the university, and okay, more than ever, in different IT areas, not only on IT, OT also, the mindset for security as a standard, it's more relevant than ever. So doesn't matter if you are a developer, doesn't matter if you are going to infrastructure, whatever. And you mentioned several times about this people that are coming out from the university, but the basics of the cybersecurity or the security itself, they don't have it. So I was trying to understand that. But I also want to understand, okay, train teachers for the universities, train students. I'm just trying to see the overall picture.
Look, all of this. For example, as we have it in Russia, and right now it's very, very common that big IT companies they provide free lectures in universities, and not only in capital. For example, in my city where I'm from, it's quite not small, but quite small city. Anyway, there in universities, in technical universities, we provide lectures. We open free IT schools, like for developers mostly, but for robotic, for artificial intelligence, machine learning, for cybersecurity, all this kind of stuff. Why? Because we understand that we invest in the future, in their future. So it's very important, and of course, right now, for example, only in Russia, as I know, they miss several 100,000 of specialists in IT sphere. It's a lot. It's a huge amount, and right now, of course, big tech companies they try to invest to at least cover something in the future for them.
Okay.
So,
okay. Danish, I'm very pleased I'm very pleased to hear the presentation. I hope you also like it, the interaction that we have today.
Yeah, it was a joy for me.
So again, thank you to people. I don't know if you have any question, but I don't see it much here. But it was Elvis. Okay, I asked. Elvis,
no, I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say thank you to Mr. Dennis. It was a nice pleasure. I wanted to meet him in personal, but yeah, in person, but I didn't have the opportunity yet. But for now, I am very pleasure to meet you, and for you, Claudio, to possibly to make it possible for us to speak directly with Dennis. Thank you so much.
Elvis, thanks a lot for your participation and for all of your questions. And it helped us to make this our session today as a dialogue, as we wanted with Claudio firstly. So, yeah, thanks for this.
Okay.
Okay, Claudio, just before you go, I will speak in Portuguese. A gravação deste evento estará disponível, como sempre, no nosso canal do Cast no Telegram, tá? Para todos aqueles que já me solicitaram no off a gravação e os contactos, estará tudo disponível no nosso canal do Telegram. Yeah.
Okay. Elliot, thank you for your time. Yeah. People, again, thank you, Danish. I think that we started very well today. Let's see how can we manage the next time. Just to reply to Elvis very quickly. We were about to meet at Danny's office, but I had a situation that I need to come home. We want to make the cast again in person. We need to find some venues for that.
Sure.
But we will ensure that because we miss this networking, personal contact with person. So that will happen. Just giving us opportunity to for that to happen. But again, thank you for your time, Dennis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Claudio, for organization. It was perfect.
Okay, thank you. Okay, team, I will stop the recording.